So, not that long ago, I covered a game called Bugdom here on the channel. It was this 3D platformer made by Pangea Software back in 1999 for Mac computers, and it went on to become their most popular game of all time, at least according to them. However, despite its massive popularity compared to other Pangea Soft games, it's still just a small footnote in the giant repertoire of all the games that Pangea Soft has made in its history. You see, ya boys down at Pangea Soft have been making games for Mac computers almost as long as Macs have been a thing. They started out in 1989 with their first published game, Dinosaur, and even before that, Brian Greenstone, the founder and programmer for Pangea Soft, made his first shareware release as a game called Bloodsuckers all the way back for the 8-bit Apple II. So you might be wondering why I'm bringing up so much useless trivia about this company. Well, it goes to show just how long Pangea Soft has been in the game creating business, I guess? I don't know, some word. They've been working with Apple computers for pretty much as long as Apple computers have been consumer available.
We are the oldest operating Apple game developer in the world.
And that brings us to our game today. While it may not seem very impressive right now, it was a huge leap forward for Mac gaming at the time, and not only blew fans away, but also put Pangea Soft on the map as Apple's pack-in game developers. Yeah, everybody out there who played Bugdom in school, you have this game to thank for that. So dinosaurs! With lasers! Oh yeah! Hell yeah! I'm really sorry, NSP. Please don't sue me. I'm a big fan. The year is now, but like slightly in the future, so maybe like 20 years down or so not really now, but hey, it's almost now!
See, the future is now thanks to science.
Humans, high on the fumes of plastic Jurassic Park toys and the dreams of fortune and glory, have genetically engineered dinosaurs back to life. But not just any dinosaurs, these dinos have human intelligence.
I think I'm well-spoken. I think I'm well above average. It is important to me to carry myself in a manner where people are going to say, you know what, he knows what he's doing.
And immediately after, a giant plague comes through and wipes out all of humanity. Wait a minute. A giant plague? Could it? No, it can't be. Besides, as if we have sapient lizard people on Earth here, right? Now the year is 4122 and dinosaurs rule the land! So now, the Nanosaurs are the only species left on Earth. Or maybe the only sapient species left on Earth? I don't know, the Wikipedia page I read this on didn't really clarify, but it doesn't really matter anyway because it immediately goes on to say that with them being the only people left, the only way they could reproduce was through inbreeding!
Oh my goodness!
You can't make this shit up! What are you doing, Step Brachiosaur? So after a few generations of the Nanosaurs with each other, the Nanosaur government begins to have concerns about the health and survival of the future generations. So they hatch a plan to stitch some new denim back into the gene pool. So our plan, sire, is to open a portal to 66 million BC, 20 minutes before the meteor hits Earth. We have an operative hop in, collect some eggs, and hop out before the meteor makes impact. Alright, question. Why does it have to be 20 minutes before the meteor hits? Seems like it would be an unnecessary complication to the plan. Well, you see, sire, these eggs would have been destroyed minutes later anyways, so us taking them won't have any effect on the space-time continuum. You realize there have been thousands, hundreds of thousands of eggs that have been laid throughout history, right? we could just find others that would have been destroyed through much more simple means. Listen, those dinosaurs down there are gonna die anyways. If we go down there, we can blow them to shit with lasers and nothing bad's gonna happen. Now doesn't that seem cool? Alright, I'm in, sign me up. Excellent, come with me. I guess this is happening now. The game drops you right in, no tutorial, none of that shit. Come on, you're a high-ranking agent. Wikipedia says so, get your ass in gear. In all seriousness, it's a high-score based shooter with tank controls. Your mission is to get 5 different colored eggs and send them back to the future. Before your 2,000-second timer runs out. What is this, Mario Bros on the NES? The game is structured very similarly to an arcade game, and man, I would sell my soul for an arcade cabinet of Nanosaur. I am not lying. Your base ammo is 50 shots of a red triangle. Think of this one like Mega Man's Lemons. There's a decent amount of other weapons as well. From a heat-seeking missile that does more damage than your default shot, some weird purple shotgun spread fire thing, and this weird yellow orb that when you shoot it, it makes a giant explosion, and even you're fucked if you get caught in it. But out of all of them, I'd say my favorite's this sonic boom weapon. At least that's how I consider it. I don't know, it's kind of some ring and it makes a weird boom noise when you shoot it. It can one-shot the T-Rexes, which is really nice since every shot counts, but it also has that spread ability because the rings grow in size before they disappear, so it gives you a bit of leeway when you go to aim at your enemies. The level that you play the game in is pretty fun to go through, actually. It really itches that low-poly nostalgic vibe that people look for sometimes. At least it does for me. In the fleeting brief moments that you can stop and smell the flowers for a second, it has some really serene landscapes that I'd say are 90s screensaver worthy. And immediately you'll see everything in this game wants nothing more than to rip you limb from limb and dance on your grave! I'm serious! Once you have a dinosaur on your tail, there is nothing stopping them from coming at you. The only things that can possibly stop them is you killing them or 90s pathfinding AI. Also, can we talk about the hit detection for picking up these eggs? My god, it's hard to, especially when you have a horde of dinosaurs up your ass. But maybe I'm being too mean. I mean, I've never tried to pick up an egg with my mouth. Help me, Luna, help me. Wait. Oh shit. Aww. Damn it, no! The eggs in question are all on little nests for you to keep your eye out for. But other than that, it's up to you to find them on your own. Luckily, you're given a map, which takes some getting used to use right, but it works well enough. There's also an arrow that points towards the nearest time portal. Being arcade-like in nature, there's only one level, and it's about figuring out how to survive and get to the next area after each loss. The game starts you in the swamp area, which makes sense, it's a very fitting area for dinosaurs. It'd almost be peaceful if these hell spawns weren't constantly 2 steps behind me. Immediately after, though, it's like, fuck you, have some platforming. Here's lava and pterodons to pelt you with rocks. Have fun, bitch! This is also where the game goes from being just hostile to outright horrifying. After surviving the lava zone, you find yourself in the middle of a canyon, and this place is what I call pachinko hell. Giant boulders will fall down from the sides of the canyon and tear your ass a new one even if they just graze you. And I swear to God, I've looked at their falling patterns and there's no rhyme or reason to how these things fall. You're just at the mercy of a game's physics engine at this point. Ooh, look at this dude! Camping like a little bitch! Finally, you and the inevitable trail of dinosaurs you have following you arrive at the pond. The last 2 eggs you need to get are both here, but one of them is at the top of these cliffs, and you pretty much need to save some jet fuel from the lava area just to get up there. After stealing all 5 eggs and bringing them back to the time portals, your mission's complete. You're brought back to the future and it's time to watch the ending cutscene now. Ugh. Ugh. Why are the eggs undulating? I don't think that's natural. Maybe I should go and get some more. Perfect enough excuse to try extreme mode. You thought Triceratops jump scares was enough for you? How about that, but also the entire T-Rex population has a bounty on your head. I mean, look at this shit. You don't even have time to breathe half the time. You just gotta keep running and shooting and praying to your dinosaur god that you'll stay alive. This right here, everybody, this is what suffering looks like. So you may be wondering why earlier I brought up how long Pangea Soft has been operating, even around the time of Nanosaur's release. Well, like I said, Nanosaur was a showstopper at the time. See all those dinosaurs running around? This is the first time characters were animated with squash and stretch over a single model in a Mac game.
Now, if you saw Nanosaur today, you wouldn't think much of it. But back in the late 90s, the Nanosaur demo stopped people in their tracks. We were pushing the 3D technology of the day to its limits, and we were doing things that people had never seen before on their home computer.
So, like I stated in the video on Bugdom, Pangea Soft doesn't really have any plans on porting their older games to newer operating systems. Being the dinosaur that it is, it would stop functioning once Apple throws down the meteor of stopping support for 32-bit operating systems. But once again, your boy Elias Horio comes through for us with a Nanosaur Remaster, capable of widescreen and natively running on modern Windows and Mac. I'm deadass serious here. If it wasn't for heroes like Elias Horio and other people preserving classic software like this, we would have oodles of software just gone to the aether today. Oodles, I tell you, oodles! Oh, and did I mention? He also added controller support, just like with the Bugdom Remaster. It's not as much of a game changer as it was for Bugdom, since, like I said, Nanosaur uses tank controls. But hey, it's there for those who want it. So today, it's easy and free to play both Nanosaur and Bugdom. But for the rest of Pangea Soft's library, it's kind of up in the air. We do know that Pangea Soft themselves openly supports these remasters made by Elias Horio, as they actually host links to them right on their website. Which, if you ask me, that's like one of the coolest things a developer could do for a fan base. And also one of the coolest things a fan base could do for a developer. This is just a really wholesome, this whole scenario, just a real wholesome scenario here, ain't it? So with open support like this, I would love to see Elias Horio, or anyone really, continue remastering the rest of Pangea Soft's library. So keep up the good work, Elias. And also, real talk, if you do Chromag Rally next, that would be some cool stuff, man. That'd be some really lit stuff. And maybe one day we can have Chromag Rally 8 Deluxe with online support. What? A guy can dream? Hey there! Thanks for watching the video all the way through. You've got my respect. You're one of the real ones. If you like what you saw, why not try giving my other videos a shot? I have another video up right now about Bugdom, which I'm pretty sure if you're already a fan of Pangea Soft games, Bugdom has no introduction needed for you. But if you're not familiar with Pangea Soft's titles, I would definitely recommend watching that video. It's one of my favorites. And if for some ungodly reason you're actually here for me instead of the games that I'm talking about, why not try watching a couple other of my videos? We have a Let's Play of A Hat in Time right now going on, and my god, I don't know how I've gone this far without playing that game. We also have a few skits we've made. And like I said before, they're pretty cringe. I made them while I was learning how to edit, but you know, it was fun. I had fun with it, so why not give those a shot? And I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.